What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Boy, oh boy, grading is a scam. People are going to absolutely love this. They are going to have a field day with this one. This story comes via Collect, Will Stern, or Click, or whatever you want to call it. Collect Media. I'm not going to say savvy, because they didn't even really have a good glimpse at the card, if you believe the story. I'll link to the story in the comments down below, or the description of the video down below. Basically, what happened was, this gentleman from Chicago was looking for a star card. He found a Beckett Authentic, purchased it for around $14,000, just a hair under. Got it in hand, looked it over, and said, I don't think this is altered. This looks legit. Circled it around the Star community, which is a hot button community at the latest. The Star card is one of the most polarizing things in the hobby right now. It's radioactive, almost. Floats the image around, gets opinions from people. And the opinion is, I think you're right. This thing might be legit. Cracks it out, writes PSA a big old fat check, gets it graded, comes back a PSA 7. So from a Beckett Authentic Altered to a PSA 7, which I believe they put a PSA 7 goes in the range of $50,000 to $60,000. So a nice bounce up on his $14K investment, plus probably a few grand to have PSA take a look at it. And now it's in the $50,000 to $60K range. Now, I'm sure the comment section has already lost its mind. Here's the thing. I'm sure people will go at PSA for this one specifically, because that's generally what the internet likes to do. To be fair here, they may have gotten it right. Beckett may have gotten it wrong. Or vice versa. We don't know. We'll never really know. But that's what the game is all about. You are when you submit a card to grading, you are paying for a handful of individuals, if you believe that multiple graders look at these things, a handful of individuals' opinion based on a set of internal standards that a card is X, Y, or Z thing. That's what you're paying for. For them to render their opinion in the framework of whatever company's it is standards. In this case, Beckett said, Authentic Altered. PSA took a look at it. Legit card. PSA 7. Done. All day long. And based off the story before, someone jumps the gun and says, oh, well, PSA just wanted the upcharge. I don't believe they were upcharged because he submitted it at the correct level. PSA was making their money no matter what. Even if this card came back authentic or PSA 7, PSA was getting paid the same because he said he submitted it at the highest tier level, which if it graded out, that would be the correct tier to send it at. PSA doesn't downcharge. Doesn't work like that. But that's what we're paying for, is an opinion. So, you know, the common comment I get on almost any grading video that I do, whether it's gem rate, a PSA submission, a grading reveal video, talking about grading in general, you could guarantee at least one or two comments will say grading is a scam. Nah, man, that's just like your opinion. Just like the grading company is giving an opinion. You just got to know what you're getting into when you decide to dance with that devil. Sometimes it's going to go the way you think it's going to go. Sometimes it's going to go better. Sometimes it's going to go a lot worse. Now, has grading ruined the hobby, whether it's cards or comics? You could throw comic books into this as well. And is it a scam? No. Personally, I don't think so. Grading is a much needed thing. Now, does every base card under the sun need to be shipped off to a grading company? No, it doesn't. But what grading has done is it added a ton of liquidity to the marketplace and leveled the playing field for everybody. And probably, you know, this doesn't get talked about a lot. Probably catches a lot of fake stuff that we just don't hear about. Yeah, stuff slips through. We make videos about it. We talk about it. We tear them apart for getting X, Y, or Z thing wrong or missing something. But what we don't know, and we'll never know, is how many fake things, fraudulent things, altered things do they catch that never hit the market because they reject them. And this is not me sitting here defending grading companies like they're some, you know, pinnacle of holiness upon high. I just understand their use case and why they are, though can be frustrating at times, relatively good for cards and comics, collectibles in general, overall. I am a fan of third-party grading, but I understand what I'm getting into when I send something off, that it might not always go my way. That even though I think that card is 10, the person on the other end, they might have a little bit of a different opinion of it. And I know people want, you know, the AI, the robots will save us, Tag will save us all, and their, you know, automated grading nonsense. I still don't know, you know, technology flies. So I don't want to sit here and make some declarative statement like AI grading will never fully take over. Maybe it will. I just don't know, can AI grading handle non-modern cards? That seems to be Tag's limitation for a while now. You know, how do you detect fakes on vintage without actually feeling it? I know when I talked to Andy from CGC, the old head grader from Beckett that went over there to run that division, he talked about, and Peter from SGC has talked about this too, about you need to feel the card. Sometimes you even need to smell the card and get a feel for it in your hand to tell, especially on older vintage stuff. Guys that know this stuff, and girls, can tell just by the look and the feel, by just feeling it between their fingers. That's why graders don't wear gloves in a lot of cases. So is grading a big scam? Are people going to lose their minds about this? Probably, because that's just what people do. The internet loses their minds about everything. But before anyone jumps on Beckett for grading an authentic altered, or jumps on PSA for giving it a PSA 7, one was probably right, one was probably wrong. Someone missed something or thought they saw something that wasn't actually there. People cross cards over all the time. And when I say crossover, I don't mean in a traditional sense of sending the card in the slab. I just mean buying a card in like an SGC 9.5, cracking it out, sending it in, and getting a PSA 10. Hell, PSA 9s to PSA 10s. We've seen it all. Different grading companies, different grade levels, crack it out, send it off to PSA or another grading company, get their opinion on it. We've seen cards passed around like crazy to the various different grading companies. I've poked around on gem rates reports before and saw cards that were numbered out of 10 that have been graded 15, 20, 25 times. The universal population report will show that there's 25 instances of a card on the pop report, and there's only 10 in existence. So clearly that card's been passed around to multiple grading companies to get different opinions on it, and probably God knows what happened to it in between each individual trip. We won't even go down that deep, dark path. We won't mention that word. So, is grading a scam? Is it a useful tool? Is it needed? Is it required? It does almost feels like in the modern age, and maybe that's the trick they've pulled on us all. Maybe that's the ultimate thing that the grading companies have pulled fast one on us, is making us think that we need them to transact in the card world. It sure does make things a lot easier. Everyone's on the same page. It makes online transactions a lot easier, adds a ton of liquidity, makes cards a lot easier to buy and sell over the internet in 2024. If everyone was still moving raw cards around, think of what a nightmare that would be with people's picture taking skills on eBay and Instagram. It'd be a disaster. That's why you need third-party grading. You might not like it, and some of the cards that get graded probably don't actually need to be graded. But it is pretty important. And yeah, they're going to get things right sometimes. They're going to get things wrong sometimes. In this case, don't really know. Don't know which one was right and wrong. But worked out well for this gentleman. Nice little 30 to 40K profit on this bad boy. Curious for your thoughts, as always, in the comments down below. Got any altered star cards laying around in Beckett slabs? How many people will get burned on this now? You know, with the way star stuff's going all nutso from the pump and dump, people are going to be cracking out altered stuff and taking a close look at it and sending it in, trying to get it past someone, whether it's sending it to Beckett to try to sneak one past them. And I shouldn't even say sneak past. Maybe the card, once again, we don't know. Maybe it wasn't legitimately altered or not. We don't really know. But I am sure people will be passing these things around to the various different grading companies, paying for opinions, trying to get the opinion that they want. That's all I got for you, boys and girls. Catch you on the next one. Peace.